guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Miranda Cohen, and if you don't know me as Mirandacohenfit, then that's fine because we're going to try to get my Instagram handle changed right soon. Anyways, we are going to be doing a little couch talk. I mean, are we going to label these? Like, are we going to have like a title for this talk? Like,
I don't know.
Like Magic with Miranda, but like that sounds dumb. Like Mysterious Miranda on the couch. That's weird.
That's weird.
That's weird. Anyways, we are going to be doing a little chit chat in a little bit, but before I get into that, I wanted to let you guys know that Transcend is doing a massive sale right now between right now and through April 30th. We live in a place now where doctors really want to prescribe us prescriptions to solve problems that are more likely bullet wounds, and they place these little bandages thinking that, you know, we're dumb enough to just follow what they're saying and never actually get to the source of the problem. I've actually been with Transcend for over a year now, and Transcend has actually changed my internal health and has actually made me have a physique where I'm taking peptides, which is made up of amino acids, and it actually helps get to the source of the problem rather than just taking a bunch of nonsense. Because of the medications and peptides that I've been prescribed, it's actually helped elevate my physique. And, you know, I'm able to, for example, you know, eat an Airhead or 5, because this is my 5th one today. I'm able to eat that and also, you know, have really good workouts and, you know, work out at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm able to live my crazy life while also benefiting from my physique actually, like, you know, being sustainable for me. So I just wanted to kind of state that as, you know, we're going to have to start sacrificing for things that we want, and, you know, let's stop making everything else a problem, and, like, let's actually get to the solution of, you know, why are we not at where we're at physically? Well, let's figure that out. And you should start by getting your blood work with Transcend. And also, too, if you get your blood work done, let me know. Send me a message, send me a DM. I want to hear about your experience. You know, this is all about growing and evolving, and, you know, I'm a part of the family and the team, and, you know, any way that I can serve you, let me know.
Like a melody in my head that I can't keep out, got me singing.
So, you guys, I don't know, from the last video that we did, I think there was good feedback from the couch combo that we had. So Lucas decided to invite himself on my couch, and he's going to apparently have a conversation with me on my couch about I'm not sure what. So, yeah.
So basically, I think Miranda has a lot of great insight into life, success, becoming your best self, and I thought it'd be very cool for me to ask her 1 or 2 questions and to just have a conversation about things that I think you guys could benefit from just by hearing her speak on her own experience and what she's done to get to where she's at.
Do you have sticky notes?
I do have sticky notes.
Why are you hiding it? Like, you're like holding it like this.
No, I have sticky notes.
That's so funny. You couldn't remember? Like,
No, I didn't.
right on your phone?
No, I wanted to have sticky notes.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
I'm prepared. Okay, so my first question to you is, what is the greatest advice you've ever received from someone? And how did that advice, in return, impact your life and help you? I didn't let her know the questions ahead of time.
Obviously.
By the way.
I mean, I would say what I want to say is very simple.
It can be simple or it can be complex. The point is for you to just say whatever you want.
No one cares.
No one cares. Okay, you got to expand on that. No one cares.
No one cares how tired you are. No one cares how hungry you are. No one cares that you can't pay your bills. Nobody cares that you have no family. Nobody cares you have no friends. Nobody actually cares, because why do people have to care about your problems when they have their own? So if you think about what I just said, you have to take your own self and also your problems into your own hands, and you have to be able to differentiate, okay, so what is something in my control versus what is something out of my control? You know, your family being a piece of shit is not in your control. So therefore, you need to release that and you need to let it go. You working hard though is in your control. So therefore, you can control the hours you spend working. You can control the tasks that you get, done in a day, and you can also control, you having a checklist of, okay, so did I get this done today? You can control yourself, and you can't control how other people perceive you. You can't control the way that people choose to see you. You can't control the way that people choose to actually ignore your great qualities because they're so focused on who you used to be. There's nothing you can control really besides yourself. So it's like, why are we gonna, I would say, make things more than what it is? Why are we gonna, it's like all of us are so overwhelmed. Like I constantly hear everyone's like I have anxiety. It's like, well, yeah, but I think we all have that to an extent. Like I actually think that we all overanalyze, overthink, and some of us are just a little bit more expressive about it than other people. Some people are more, they internalize everything, and then some people are more like expressive, where it could be aggressive, or it could just be like, I just want to know, like, is everything okay? So it's like a lot of that. But again, your mental health problems cannot be someone else's problem, and your lack of awareness cannot honestly enable you from thinking that you do no wrong, because we now live in a world where like everyone wants their own boundaries to be respected, and everyone wants their time to be respected, and everybody wants to be respected, yet the way that they communicate is actually insanely disrespectful. And you could be honest with this person as much as you want, but they don't have to care. So also to understanding like when to give someone feedback, and when to actually just not answer, when to remove yourself. And I think you and I had talked about this too, is like, taking a deep breath and also counting to 10. Yeah. If you can actually count to 10 and it's still worth your time after that, then you can respond to that. But also there's a consequence, positive or negative, to you responding to pretty much anything in life. Whether that's, success, whether that's failure, whether it's, a problem, whether it's an employee, a parent, a friend, anything that we invest time into, there's consequences for it. And so for me, the pros in my life, need to outweigh the negatives, and then therefore I'm able to make, the best decision for my life, I would say.
All right. I like that.
Oh, thank you. I was going to be simple.
I like it because it's so multifaceted. It's almost as if like it can apply in so many different areas of your life, where it's like, I've said this in my own term, where it's like no one cares about your, like, how you're feeling right now. The hard work still has to be done, and it's like the same. It's a similar concept. So I really like how you worded that.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is, is there one singular person in your life that you think has really impacted you into becoming the person you are today?
Like besides you?
I was not even gonna say me. So like, I'm just asking you in general. Like, is there one person in your life that you think has really impacted you into becoming the best version of yourself, or into just impacted you in a way where it made you a better person or human, or gave you a different perspective?
I would say you, like, believing in me years ago, I think was a huge thing for me, because I didn't have, well, still don't really have, I'd say, like, a ton of like consistent support. And I think actually I'm actually going to expand on something right now too, where like, the account grew really fast in terms of after we hit 300,000, we were stuck at that number for what?
Like 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years, and then we got to, I think we got to like 500 or 600,000. I can't remember what we got to, and we were stuck at that number for a long time too. And then all of a sudden, within like 9 months, we hit $1 million.
Hit 6 million within 9 months. It grew that fast.
I don't know if it was 9 months.
It was.
Okay, well then it wasn't. I have no idea. But I would say that it was actually hard to build a community and to build a support system because of the number now by the name. And I think that that's actually one downfall that we have experienced in terms of building a community, building a platform, building a social media following, is like, we were not able to build and capitalize more so on like the community aspect, which is what we try to do here, is more so like, hey, this is me, and this is the life, like this is actually the life, this is not, I'd say like sugar coated. And so it's been very hard actually to have a very consistent support system. You know, I've lost friends, like I'm drinking like a water bottle and then I'm just like, oh, another friend gone, and then I just throw the water bottle in the garbage. And it's like I actually don't even see people anymore as my friends. I just see them as like placeholders, which is probably pathetic. But I don't anymore place expectations on people being there for me, because quite honestly, I'm not there for other people. And let me, I'd say preface that is that it's not that I don't care about people, and it's not that I don't reach out or say something or communicate. It's that like I'm so exhausted from what we do here and the constant traveling as of lately, and you know, me not getting an hour to myself sometimes, and like, you know, there's sometimes like a lot of problems that come up where I'm just kind of like, I couldn't even get on the FaceTime call right now, even if I wanted to, and I have a lot of days like that. So, back to your question, I was just trying to expand on like, you know, besides you and my mom, you know, besides that, there hasn't really been a lot of consistency in my life as a whole. So that would be my consistency in terms of like people being in my life. You know, I do think that you've had a huge impact on just, you know, you and I have had a lot of, I would say, a lot of diversity in terms of just figuring out how to be adults. You know, who I have become and who you have become are two different like people and two different things, which is a great thing, because I think that in our younger years, like we were kind of like morphed as one. And because of like my own growth and, you know, my weaknesses here, and like your own growth and your weaknesses here, like sometimes it's actually made us clash. And this is actually really important to talk about, because, you know, when you spend every day with somebody, you know, you are bound to have problems. You are bound to, you know, have days where like just nothing is going right, and you know, especially when we're not sleeping. That's also something that I have to like think about sometimes, like when like maybe you get irritated if I'm like running behind, or you know, things like that. And you know, sometimes just like life is always out of our control, and it kind of just seems like our life is like constantly spinning out of control, and we're trying to just like keep up with it, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, we're extremely exhausted sometimes, and we're just trying to like figure everything out. And then also everybody in the midst of that, you know, people that do help us, or that, you know, behind the scenes are trying to help us. It's like, for anything that we do wrong, it's always just like, you're doing this so wrong. What is wrong with you? Oh, I can't believe. It's like, okay. Would love to see you try to do this all. But yeah, you know, it's very obviously easy to point out my flaws and, you know, what I'm not doing, because, well, shit. I mean, it's easy to like just feel like you're given the right to have an opinion. But maybe I gave you that. Maybe I allowed you to think that you could give me an opinion. I don't fucking know. I actually talked about this with my therapist today. We talked about opinions. I know you asked me something, but just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. But we actually talked about how to properly either give an opinion or to not give one. Something that I've been struggling with in my life is that I hear everybody give me all these crazy opinions. I get told who I am every day. Like, if I didn't know who I was, I would know now, because I get told like who I am all the time. And to be honest with you, and I don't, like, I'm just saying this like as being Miranda, like the only thing I hear in life is like, you're late. And it's like, okay, so can we talk about something else then? Because like, can we talk about like another flaw? And I'm not saying, by all means, I'm not saying this to be like, I'm not perfect. Like, I swear to God, I'm not. I can, you know, sometimes come off too assertive, or whatever it is, okay? Or I'm just trying to say that I'm not perfect, and I know my flaws, okay? But that's the only one I hear. So then I'm just kind of like, is this it? Is this all you have to say to me? Because I'm like, in my mind, like, I could think of 100 things that I could say to this person, and like, and it's just like, there's just like this, but you're late. Okay. It's like, tell me something I don't know. Selena Gomez, thank you. But you know, I don't know. We talked about opinions today, and it honestly opened my mind, because I think that in my life, I search for this honesty. Like, I have this like deep urge to have fulfilling relationships where I want people to be honest with me. Now, what I had just said about people saying that to me, it's typically people that we don't have like a very like mutual relationship. It's very like one-sided. So that's kind of what I mean there.
It's like they give you their feedback, but they don't want to hear your feedback.
Well, they not only want to hear my feedback, but they can't even take it when I say it in like a, like, if I could say something like as in Miranda, it would be like more like 100% Miranda, and I dumb it down. I push it down to like 7%, and the 7% is still really wrong. And it doesn't matter how like kindly I say something or like how.
So does that make
you know,
having or making or sustaining friendships very hard for you?
I mean, yeah. If you heard what I said earlier,
No,
I actually just consider people to be like placeholders in my life.
So how do you
saying.
think in that term, like?
I don't think people want to be my friend. I don't mean that in like to interrupt.
Why
you
do
or
you say
anything.
that?
I think it's hard to be my friend because I think that sometimes just being myself, it exposes sometimes what people aren't. And again, I'm not saying that I don't have my life to. I mean, I constantly say like how much I don't have my life
If
together.
I thought she was like saying something crazy, I'd probably say it's crazy. She's like speaking very truthfully, where a lot of times she'll be with friends or people that are supposed to be her friend, and instead of it being like this mutual thing, it's like, I'm gonna tell you all the things that you do wrong or how you are. And then when Miranda says like one thing, they get their panties in a bunch and they're all upset, and it's like, that's not even. Like there's a lack. So as I'm asking this more so because obviously it's been hard to maintain friends, it's been hard to make new friends. Do you find having, like, because you said me and your mom, so your circle.
Can I just go back? I kind of like went off track for a second, and I'm actually aware that I did that because when I'm doing these like conversations, I want to be understood as like my fullest and like realest self. So like I could just answer the question and like I could just like move on, but that's not really how my brain works. So like this is actually how my brain works, and I just kind of answer things how I come to it because I have like a million thoughts in my mind, and I don't say all of them, but. You know, what I wanted to say based off of what you had asked me is some people that have honestly changed my life have also ruined it all at once. And I'm not even just talking about, you know, like it's not even just about like you and my mom, I'm saying more so. It's just, I'm just trying to say like for a period of time there might have been someone else that came into my life where like this is a great thing and I'm really appreciative for this person. Like maybe I see them more as like a mentor or like guidance or, you know, things like that. And then just like in one moment, you know, their behavior or even my behavior, it changes everything, you know, like because of the choices that we have made. And, you know, there are other people that I could probably say that have impacted me, and it's not that they haven't impacted me, it's just, I go based off of integrity, and what's been very hard for me is like my version of integrity is not somebody else's. And sometimes, honestly, business gets so in the way of someone having integrity where, you know, they don't actually see outside of what they have done or what they have created. And, you know, someone like me is just supposed to like roll over in my casket and just get over it, and like build a bridge when I'm dead and just get over it. But like, to be honest, I don't sometimes get treated like I'm a woman. I get treated like I'm a man, but like I look like a woman, but like it's this weird thing where like I do have a lot of like masculine energy, but then I also do have a very soft side to me. And not everybody in my life gets to see the soft side of me because it almost feels like in my life I am meant to try to impact people, or I'm meant to inspire people. So like sometimes even the friendships that I have or the friends I do have, it's like I constantly feel like without words being said, I feel like people are looking to me for this motivation. Like to give them that extra like kick, you know, and it's like, and then, you know, the conversation turns into like some random like, oh my god, like it's so cool you got to do, and then I'm like, oh well, how are you doing? Like I want to hear about you. I'm like, forget about that. Like I want to hear about you. Like what's going on in your life? And it's like, well, my life's boring compared to yours, but like, so like how was it? Like how was it to meet Selena? How was it? And it's like, I'm actually not one of those people that like to just like brag and talk about myself. I actually want to have conversation, or maybe honestly, maybe I want to call, or maybe I want to talk because maybe I want to remember like what normal life is like, because other people actually like live very normal lives and I don't. So maybe sometimes I want to just feel normal for like 1 second, and sometimes I'm not even given that. And I'm actually going to be, I would say, very honest right now, just with the people that I have said. The relationship that I've had with my mom has been a huge work in progress, and I had to let go of my ego in order, you know, for us to have a very like fulfilling and meaningful and also mutual relationship. You know, I used to be a bratty kid. I used to have an attitude problem. You know, but I learned it from somewhere, but she won't tell you that. But anyways, I, kind of just felt entitled, and I kind of, felt like I didn't have, what other families had, and I was always very envious of other people, because during Christmas time, I'm always at like my mom's friends' houses, and it was never like my own family, and, throughout my life as an adult, I actually like searched for like having a life through my boyfriends. I searched for having a life through like their own families, because I never really had my own. And there was just like a lot of hardship with my mom and I, and a lot of me reducing my ego, and me coming to kind of like a balance of like, like I'm thankful to have a mom. I'm thankful that I have somebody in my life that does give a shit about me, to be honest with me, because I used to get offended at her being honest with me. And I think also too it has to do with people's tone when they do speak about it, because I think that also is a huge reason for people to either like respect what you're saying or to disrespect what you're saying. But I had to just remove what I once thought was, to be able to kind of see her in a different light, and for her also to see me in a different light. There was a lot of work being done there, and still to this day we still work on a lot, and obviously behind closed door, or like when we film and stuff like that, it's always fun. I mean, she's probably one of the most selfless, animal loving, obsessor, Facebook cat sanctuary person
Outgoing.
I've ever. Yeah, like she is.
She'll start a conversation with a wall, and she'll be a good conversation.
And she'll laugh at herself.
Yes.
And it'll be entertaining.
But you're the same. I literally said to you earlier, I'm like, dude, you don't need anyone. You need yourself in a mirror and a video, and you'd laugh the whole night.
Well, no, but like she takes like the socialness, like she's very more social than I am.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like I'll be social, but like I sometimes like start to die out a little bit, and she just like there's no off switches.
There's no off.
It's like she's always on, But my mom is very. She's not always herself though in every situation in her life, which makes her very interesting, because sometimes I'll be talking to her, like this happened a lot when I was at home. I'll be talking to her, and she's looking at me. She's like nodding her head like this, And I'm always just like in my mind, like, what is going on in that big brain of yours? What is happening? And also, why are you thinking so hard about what you're saying? Just fucking talk. I actually told her, I said, hey mom, I said, you don't have to do all that whole thing where like you're thinking so much about like what you're saying, because like you think you're gonna offend me. I'm like, I'm like, I actually wake up offended. I'm like, you can't, your words cannot offend me anymore, so just speak. And she was like, really? I'm like, yes. So then she said something offensive, and I was like, oh, this is what you were trying to do. You were trying to calculate how to say something to me. And I'm like, oh damn, like that was.
She's like, I don't want to piss her off, but I gotta say this.
Well, she's like, I always know that you say like you can handle feedback, but she's like, but I never know if you're gonna like attack me for it. So she's like, I'm always just like, she's like, I do that thing where I stare at you, and I'm like, I know. I mean, I was trying to tell you like it's weird that you do that. But anyways, there was a lot of work there with my mom, and then like I would say with you and I think that just everything that you've actually gone through with yourself and your family, and just kind of tapping into like who you're supposed to be instead of who people like wanted you to be, I think has been very hard, and also very hard on our dynamic, because I've been wanting to see you thrive in a different way than how you have thrived now, and it's just because I've actually believed in you enough, because I'm like, I know what you're capable of, and I know that you're meant to be a very powerful person. And I think that in your life you've been so used to being just like knocked down and kind of like forgotten about, and kind of just like you're never the priority. And like I've tried to make you, I would say, like a priority. Just even with what we do, it's when we first started this, it was a little bit more me on camera. It was more and I would say still to this day probably, but what he does is just as valuable, and if not more than what I do. And I think then again in life there's a lot of different roles that people play, and I think that everybody has their own chess piece that they're playing. And I think that when they play the chess piece right, I think that it actually opens up doors for other opportunities and other situations down the road where that eventually turns into success. Because I think that Lucas without me would be successful no matter what, but I think that we're better as a team. And sometimes I just wish that you would believe more in yourself in terms of letting go of the past and things that you can't control, because you really have, I'd say, impacted my life, like you really have. And I would never tell anybody else differently, and also I would never take full credit for what we do. It's always
You've never done that.
Yeah, it's always you and I just feel that I think that our relationship could actually be better if you were able to kind of just like cut cords with your past, you know. So maybe, I don't know if you're like how comfortable you are to expand on that, but you probably weren't prepared for that, and that's fine.
I wasn't prepared to be the person you said either. Well, if I was answering this question, I think my answer is very simple, because it's you. Because who I was and the headspace I was in and the environment I was in was very toxic and unhealthy for me.
Yeah.
And even when removing myself, it's taken way too fucking long
A long time.
to get through it, and it has affected our relationship. And that's one of the things that I think I admire about you most is like, I grew up with this unconditional love from my mom where I could kill somebody and my mom would know I'm wrong and she would defend me and not hold me accountable. And it's like crazy I could say that.
Yeah.
And you gave me this unconditional love where it was, I'm gonna hold you accountable, I'm gonna tell you where you're wrong, and you're gonna have to hear that and get better from it, but I'm never gonna stop caring about you. And it was a very different approach to that, and it was a different approach to having someone kind of just be very honest with you and have to look at yourself in the mirror all the time, and to have this like perspective of yourself that you don't see, sometimes you don't understand, but you know the person telling you obviously cares about you enough to say like, this is how you're coming off.
Yeah.
And it's been very hard for me to like almost strip down my own ego and hear a lot of those things. So like, I don't know, just, I wouldn't be who I am today if I'd never met you. I actually know if I'd never met you and things were the way they were in college, I would have been in probably a way worse place.
The Navy SEALs?
I mean, I say that now, but honestly, if I didn't meet you, I'd probably be SEAL Team 6. That's like my mindset. It's more just like straight and narrow, like, oh, I'm not going to survive this, like, okay, let's do it. Where
I would be there too.
you couldn't take the
I don't know why you
fucking
said
But, I don't know, you've definitely impacted me, and I agree. I think there's a lot of internal work that I'm still currently doing and working through that would really help our relationship. And it would help all the relationships that matter in my life that I don't think I've done a good job of catering to.
Yeah. So I'd say in a nutshell, we're both fucked up, but we've both been there for each other, so that's all that matters.
My last question is like, what is the toughest adversity you faced, and how did you overcome it and make it your secret weapon for success?
Okay, I have my answer, but how would you answer that? If you looking at like you being involved as much as you have been, what do you think the answer to that question is from your perspective? Like, what have you seen?
What's been your biggest obstacle?
Yeah.
Well, we've had so many like minor. We've had so many obstacles. Honestly, sometimes it's just like.
Another one?
I think you've said it. Like, I'm so numb to like bad news sometimes.
Yes.
But when you make yourself numb to bad news, one of the issues is you often make yourself numb to good news, and it's hard sometimes to then appreciate or take in moments where you should be proud of yourself. So
Yeah.
I would say the thing that I think you've overcome the most is yourself. Like, the person you've become is, you've grown so much since I've met you. I don't recognize you sometimes. There's moments you handle situations, there's moments I see you do stuff, there's moments that the way you carry yourself where I'm just like, bro, the girl I knew in college, bro, she was fucking angry. Like, that's why we got along. I was angry, she was angry, we were like angry, we're like, fuck the free world.
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
still
hey,
angry.
I'm still angry.
You're still angry.
I need to work on that. But like, you've worked so hard on like yourself and who you are and like the woman you want to be and like your confidence, man.
My confidence,
Your confidence
yeah.
has soared The more you've
Yeah.
become so in tune with yourself, it was like the light that was already shining bright got brighter, and it was like it went from like a light you see in outer space, like you're like a fucking supernova, and it's like things are drawn towards you.
Yeah.
So I would say like you've turned this lack of maybe yourself or confidence into your greatest weapon. And I think anybody who meets you would say the way you carry yourself, the way you talk, and your kind heart are like your 3 greatest things about you. And you treat the janitor, you treat the person that is probably would be the least amount of like mattering, you treat them as good or better than you would treat the CEO. And like for me, it's been very nice to watch, because like there's a lot of things you do or how you operate that I admire, and I actually look up to you, and I try to use you as a person that I can model myself after. And it's weird because like I don't know if I would have said that like years ago,
Yeah.
but like I actually look up to you.
Thank you. Everything you said was very kind
Thank you.
and serious, like that, funny. I would say, well, I would say not only do I appreciate what you just said, but I was actually going to say something similar in terms of, I think when I got over what was not going to happen for me in terms of money, in terms of, you know, just I see people online. And it's so funny, you guys. We're so funny as a society because we love toxic people. We love supporting toxic people. We love supporting alcoholics online. We love supporting people that we're gonna get support anyways because it's in the cards for them, and they've got the money. They've got the parents that are gonna pay the money to get them to be noticed more. We've got the parents that pay the coaches that have better spots on, like, you know, the sports team, and like we are big fans of these people. Yeah, we have like no idea who these people are behind closed doors. We have no idea what is actually being done to be sacrificed in order for this person to just be on a pedestal and get things that it would take people 10 years for in like 1 year. So the reason why I say that is because I say that with like, honestly, with like huge sarcasm, but it's also very like true, because we don't like certain things about certain people, yet we keep watching. You know, if I promote mental health and, like, you know, let's just say this video is so long, whatever, you know, this is not going to be a video that goes viral, and we're also not trying to do that, but it's like, but you're going to watch someone taking shots. You know, you're going to watch someone with their boobs out and pouring alcohol, and maybe they're a DJ, and maybe they live in either LA, New York, or Miami, and maybe like they just, like, their lifestyle, like, it just like makes sense. Like, you could just see that, and it's just like, this is meant for you. Like, it just like, it's in their cards, and it's like, it's not like that for me. And, you know, me being from Michigan, I would say like Detroit, Michigan, me being from there, I have such a perspective on work ethic. I have such a perspective on, you know, okay, so maybe this is not in my cards. Like, maybe I'm not supposed to have what these people have, because again, like, I'm not taking away from what other people do, and I'm not also taking away from how people make their money. You know, so I just want to say that now, is that, you know, how other people make money is not my business. It's more so just, you know, we actually, as like visuals, because we watch everything online now, we are able to see people's careers take off way faster than we ever have anything else in our entire life.
Yeah.
You know, we watch someone's career faster than, you know, how the iPhones came about. You know, it's like we watch everything, and like we actually get to have like the front seat of someone's life in our phone behind a screen. Like, it's crazy that we get to like just like watch. And, you know, whether that's a gift or something that's toxic, I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. But, you know, I had to get over that. You know, if I wanted to have a lifestyle like these people that I mentioned, that live in all these really nice areas, if I wanted to have that, then I was going to have to work harder than them, because I don't have, you know, their natural charisma that just like,
you don't have their privilege.
well, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's like I know that people can actually see me and be like, well, you're white, you have blonde hair, and we're not going to get into that whole thing. But I'm just stating it to, like, realistically, like, I am actually judged for being a white girl with having blonde hair, and I'm actually perceived as being dumb. And it's actually one of the most annoying things in my life, because it's almost made me, in ways, like I have to compensate to be myself, to be so intelligent in a situation, because I want to be seen as like someone that can be respected. But I've had to learn that it's not my job to do that, and if people choose to see me in a type of way, like that's actually not my problem. And so, you know, I had to get over myself, like he said. I had to get over my ego. I had to get over, you know, like my life is actually fucking difficult. I know that there's people on here that are like, what does she even fucking do? It literally makes no sense to me. Like, but you're not someone that I want even in my energy, so please just get the fuck out. I don't want your negative shit. Like, so like you can just like leave your fucking toxic shit and your toxic self and your narcissistic ass boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, and just like get out. Like I don't even care. Just like go, please. Just, you know, like you guys still talk about me on Reddit, but we're not talking about that. But anyways, you know, I would say the biggest lesson I had to learn was no one's gonna do the work for me. No one's gonna save me. No one's gonna go to therapy for me. No one's gonna teach me to be a better person. Like I knew that if I wanted to be better, I had to be better, and I also knew that if I had to influence other people to be better, then I need to be in a headspace where I can actually be capable of doing that. You know, like everything I say here, it's been work that's been done for like almost a decade. This has not been work that's just been done for like a year, and I'm just like, I made my bed today. I'm a fucking great person. Like, let's fuck around. Like, no, it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual work, as in I have made a priority in my life to go to therapy almost every week. And like, you know that based off of like the schedule that we have, you know, typically, you know, if I could have my therapy appointment on the plane, I would do it, but no one wants to hear it.
You really enjoy therapy.
I really do. Her and I talk about a lot of stuff where, you know, she'll just sometimes be like, "You're ever tired of your life just being so hard?" I'm like, "Thank you for understanding me." Like, thank you for hearing me. You know, like she makes me feel. She sees me. She hears me, and she visually sees me on our Zoom thing.
Felt seen heard.
Yeah, but like she just like she really sees me like through the phone, you know, and it's really appreciated, honestly, because I feel like I have so many people in my life that really do support, but like I also feel like I have nobody at all. It's like this weird thing.
Conditional support. You have a lot of conditional support.
Yeah.
Which isn't real support.
Yeah.
That's for another topic right there.
Yeah. And I would say I go into life at this point where I don't expect anything. Nothing tomorrow is going to surprise me. It's not going to make me cry. When I cry, I have been 300 times upset to get to that cry.
Or you're mad.
If I'm fuming, like if I'm furious, there either is steam coming out of my ears, or like my entire face and neck is like, if that's red, like just please just remove yourself, because
It's
honestly,
like a volcano about to explode.
I'll just be like really like just aggravated. But like honestly, I have rosacea, and now it's like now everyone knows if I'm upset, because now it's like it gets red, and I actually have a lot of problems. I've been at the dermatologist so frequently that they're sick of me, and I'm sick of them.
I'm sick of them.
I'm sick of paying a copay. Like fuck. Oh man. But yeah. But anyways, I don't know how you guys interpret these talks. I hope that you like actually like these talks. I don't really know, but you know, if anything, I did not and have not done a good job at building like a closer environment or closer community, and I kind of want this to be like this on YouTube. And you know, I know this is like probably like a longer video, but you know, I'd rather people see me for me and actually hear, you know, like what really goes on, rather than, you know, trying to front as if like I'm just like out here just like throwing bands to make her dance, because I don't do that. And I have only gone to the beach twice in Florida, so I need to go explore and like get myself to have a life, because like it's like we work so hard that we deserve that. It's just, you know, when you try to hire employees and then like they're stealing from you, it's like it's kind of hard to have people come in here, and it's hard to build that trust. And you know, I really want my mom to come down here and help us out. So there's just a lot of things that I would say hopefully in the near future that are going to be changing soon. And you know, I'm very grateful to be here, and I'm very, very thankful to even have your support. And if you've watched, like I really appreciate you. And you know, just know that, you know, this is a we thing. This has never been just about me. And you know, he's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that is not always shown. And sometimes I can only imagine how annoying it is to get home from the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you know, then he's got to edit a YouTube video, then he's got to edit the content they just did, and I can only imagine how tedious and annoying that is. And a big reason why I think we're able to still work together is because like we can also empathize for each other, and we also know that like we're both in this, like I'd say like 100%, where I think sometimes people at this point in the career, like they would want to start giving about 70% because it's like now time to like have a life and like do these things, and like we're not there yet. And because of our sacrifices on both of our ends, like that's actually why we have gotten somewhere, you know, and we didn't give up. You know, we didn't give up when this got really hard, because I will tell you that there has been a few moments while I've done, you know, this, and I've said to myself and thought, you know what, I'm done now. I've had it. Because a lot of what goes on in my life is a lot of the behind the closed doors stuff, and that stuff will never be like actually like shared. So there's just a lot of things that I have gone through personally where I have been like at my worst, and I'm still showing up and still doing a workout so we can film the content, so we can actually keep this moving. Because again, like I said in the beginning of this video, nobody cares. So if I still have to pay my bills, yeah, I'm upset about what just had happened, but I still have to show up because I'm relying on myself, and he's relying on me, and it's not that no one says, oh, you know, Miranda, take a break or relax, and it's like, I hate when people say that to me. If I'm upset, do not tell me to relax. I'm going to work harder, because I feel that now I'm at a disadvantage, because now I'm spending time like feeling and getting upset, and it's affecting my mood. It's affecting, you know, the way I'm showing up in a situation, and that upsets me because I want to have control over myself. So, you know, just know that we're very thankful for your support. I know this is probably a longer video, but I enjoy chatting because I think that this is a good way to kind of see more of like who I really am, instead of just, you know, seeing like a little post on the grid of like 20,000 likes, because like, no one cares. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.